All right, so we're going to play with stirring the pot, and we're going to talk about Aesop's fable of the frog doctor and the fox. So we're going to stir the pot first. So start with your, what is this? Your right leg. If you're mirroring, your right leg's forward, your left leg is back. It's kind of a bow stance, if you like. It doesn't have to be too precise. And imagine in front of you, there's a big cauldron with the top of the cauldron being about the height of your navel. And then you can dip your hands in the cauldron, right, the top of it. It's not too hot, not too cold. And you're going to begin to stir. And if you're mirroring me with your right leg forward, begin by stirring clockwise as you look down. I'm a little bit under the weather, and so I guess it makes it a little more effective, perhaps, to talk about the frog doctor and the fox. So here it goes. So you're just stirring like so, shifting the hips a little bit. All right. And there's this frog, and the frog is a doctor, or at least pretends to be. And the frog tells all the other creatures, says, hey, I've got the skills and the knowledge. I can cure you of all your ailments. So it's like a frog doctor, but it's a little bit like a snake oil salesperson. And the frog says this, I can cure you of all your ails. And I guess some of the animals are impressed, but the fox knows what's what. And the fox looks at the frog doctor and says, well, that's interesting. How can that be, given that you can't even cure yourself? And you say, well, wait a minute. What's going on? It's part of the story. I don't know. Well, it depends on the version. In some versions, the fox points out that the frog's skin is all mottled. Maybe it's like a warty frog or something. Or maybe it doesn't like the greenish tint of the frog's skin. That could be a little bit weird if he's criticizing the frog's greenish tint, but something like the skin shows some problems, at least probably mottled wartiness or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's that the frog limps. In any case, there's supposed to be, according to the story, something that the frog has an obvious ailment with. And the fox points out, well, hey, Dr. Frog, how is it that you can cure all the others, but you can't cure yourself? All right, now let's try circling, not stirkling, but circling the other way. So usually when we do this stirring the pot, if the right leg is forward, you're stirring clockwise looking down, but now your hands will be going counterclockwise. And so you might, as you push forward, like you're pushing the water or the elixir and pulling it back, right? So it's the same kind of stirring, but in the opposite direction. And if you know silk reeling, this is a kind of variation of this kind of more, I guess, more common silk reeling. But here we're doing it kind of in a horizontal circle. All right, so let's think again about the frog doctor and the fox. So the Dr. Frog comes up and he, or she, or they, promises to cure any ailment. He says, if you listen to me, do what I say. Take me on as your physician. I will cure any ailment. And the fox says, oh, frog doctor, how is it that you cannot even cure yourself? Let's keep going. I like this one. So switch sides. Now, if you remember me, the left leg is forward and you're stirring the pot. Begin by stirring such that the hands come in toward the body along the front leg. This could be training related to kind of Tai Chi-like movements, but here you're just stirring the pot. That's all it is. So as you look down with the left leg forward, you're stirring what? What is this? For your perspective, this would be counterclockwise. And the frog comes along and says to everyone, I can cure you of what ails you. And the fox looks at the frog and says, but frog, you haven't yet cured yourself. And the Laura Gibbs translation of Aesop's Fables, she points out the similarities between this fable from Aesop and the Christian physician, cure thyself. All right, still keep that leg forward. You're going to reverse the spinning. So now, if the left leg's forward and you're mirroring me, your hands are going clockwise. Frog Doctor promises to cure everyone's ailments. The fox who knows what's what says, oh, frog, how can that be? You can't even heal yourself. I guess if you want to be optimistic, you might imagine the fox saying, you haven't yet cured yourself. All right, I'm going to lower the chi 3 times. 1, down to the head of the navel, turn the Laogong points at the center of each palm toward the navel. 2, last one, 3. All right, that's that.